This is the best podcast on the planet.
Play more foos.
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 Play more food.
Play more foos.
You know what Bennett Schiller says? Play more foos.
Play more foos.
Play more foos.
Jugar más foos.
What's going on? Whoa, that's loud. That is loud. Sorry. Whoa. Okay. Hello. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Josh Choman, back here with the Play More Foos podcast. This is going to be a quick one, quickie today, because your boy does not have any guests as of recent. I got so many lined up. I have like 4 people that want to come on that I just can't seem to get a common date with, but they are in progress. Yeah, you probably notice a bit of a increase in clout of the quality of my podcast because I got this nice Blue Yeti microphone that I can now say is mine. It's pretty sweet if you ask me. Now I don't have to lean over my phone to talk to the podcast. But nevertheless, we're back with episode 6. Just gonna do a little review of what's been going on. Kind of been working on getting the YouTube channel started. Less time has been put into the podcast, but now that I kind of got my stuff together with the channel, I am going to be uploading more with the podcast because I know that some of you care. So, how's it going? How are things? I missed you. Oh, thank you. Oh, my top 10 of the year is out. If you didn't watch it, you should check that out. It's pretty dope list if you ask me. Other than that, not much is new. My birthday's coming up. That's fun. That's always a good time. Oh, I'll tell you who I have coming on. I'm just gonna, I don't know if I should say their names yet because they're not locked in, but I got an author who is a friend of mine who is supposed to come on, but he kind of had something going on the last couple weekends because something kind of happened. Just another film fan, as I am, a YouTube critic, and another podcaster that I'm hoping will come on, but he's still undecided on whether or not he's gonna decide he's too big for me or not. But nevertheless, those are like legit guests that I'm trying to have on. But if I can find someone to do it with this weekend, where I can just shoot the shit with someone and get a nice podcast going, that'd be nice. It's the first week back after Christmas break, so everybody's kind of brazy. It's only been a 4-day week, so that's a plus. But next week we go back to the whole rigmarole of 5-day weeks. So it's definitely not fun. You see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this new mic. If I have anything, if anything in my room makes a noise, like this camera will hear it. Not this camera. This microphone will hear it. Which I don't know if that's a problem. Because, at least it's a good microphone. Oh, big announcement. I got merch now. Not really, but I can make shirts. So if you want one, be sure to hit me up. Everybody who listens to this, I pretty much know. So be sure to hit me up for some of that good merch. It's just a white t-shirt or a t-shirt of your color preference. Not bragging, but I think I got a few different kinds of colored shirts. That just says Play More Foos across the chest. Another thing about this mic is I have headphones on, listening to myself as I'm saying this. So, if anybody enters my house, I'm not going to hear it. So I'm half expecting somebody to come out of the dark and expose me. It is January 4th. Everybody, you heard it here first. That's the date. Just want to shout out a few people that I know are listening, that always tune in. Dylan, Andrew, Alec, probably. You guys are kind of like the 3 main supporters of my channel, so good looks. Also, shout out to your man H-Dan, who's just killing it with the vlogs these days. Just producing the best content on the YouTube sphere. Let's talk about news. What's going on in the news? Logan Paul put someone's suicide on YouTube, which is way messed up. That's whack. Like, when I heard that, I was like, it probably isn't that bad. And I watched the video, and he's like kind of laughing about it, and I was like, ooh, this is rough. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I should have known that a suicide is nothing to put on the freaking internet. Jeez, man, that's messed up. I saw a tweet from Aaron Paul, who plays Jesse on Breaking Bad, who just roasted him in like a paragraph, and I was like, dude, if Jesse from Breaking Bad came at my life, I would just never attempt anything ever again. Okay, I got a question. Now, this is one that came up in one of my classes today, and we decided to spend the whole hour debating it instead of learning Spanish. But, yo don't care. I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know. I probably should be learning Spanish. But anyway, so somebody says to me, somebody has the gumption to say, "Is water wet?" Now, if you hear this and you're like, "Ooh, this will be a fun debate topic," I don't like you, because you know when the government said, we should start polluting this water to make these people dumber. This is one of the conversations that they probably schemed up. Like, I bet they're gonna debate if water's wet. It's just the most stupid. Of course, water's wet, and then they're like, it's not wet. It makes other things wet. But I would say, in order to make something wet, it must itself be wet. You know. Just come at my life in the comments. That's fine. For example, my hand cannot light something on fire with touch, like by touching it, unless it itself is already on fire. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So I was watching Sicario, which I've never seen, and I went to the bathroom and I was like, I should really get some content going. So I just recorded a video, and now I'm doing this, and I still didn't finish Sicario, which I feel like I should. So that's why I gotta keep this somewhat short. I don't have a ton to talk about, as you know. Half of this has been my dumbass rambling, but everybody go see Molly's Game. I think it gets a wide release tomorrow. Go see it. It's really, really good. Probably the best adapted screenplay of the year. Yeah. That's some good advice I could leave with you. Don't go see Insidious: The Last Key, because, if you give it money, they're going to keep making more. Yada, yada, yada. Skirt. Oh, other big news. I posted something on Reddit the other day. Yesterday, to be exact. I think it's at like 24,000 views right now. So, your boy has got some clout. Just saying. Speaking of clout, the Bangers and Ass mixtape by Tiny Meat Gang. One of the best records of the year. Easily. One of the best. Now, when I say best, I don't mean masterpiece. I mean best as in the most entertaining, because it is so entertaining. And it's only 14 minutes, and it's funny and clever, and it's well made. Oh, okay. Now I got something to say. Revival by Eminem. Now, a little background. Eminem is my favorite artist ever. He is my absolute favorite. I love him. I've listened to him since 4th grade, and he's always, been an influence on me. I've always liked his music, pretty much everything. And he's been a big role model to me my whole life. Now, when I say role model, I don't mean like, 99 through 03 Eminem. I mean, like, recovery Eminem. Like, he kind of came back, made good stuff, yada, yada, yada. Some people don't like recovery, but I do. Anyway, the Revival comes out. Comes out first with the single Walk on Water, which I liked a lot. I think it's honestly one of his most deep songs, and it definitely made me emotional to hear somebody that I look up to talk about, failing to meet expectations and being insecure. Like, that was really heartfelt, and it definitely had an impact on me, and I was like, wow, this is really good. That being said, it's not one I'm going to listen to a lot because it bums me out. No, I don't want to keep listening to it. Then Untouchable comes out, which everybody seems to hate. Now, when it came out, I did not like it, but it kind of grew on me. I understand the execution is kind of poor, but I still have come to enjoy it, even though it's kind of a train wreck. So then the album comes out, and the album is like a mishmash of pretty good songs, like decent, like good songs, with bad songs that are kind of fun, and attempts at good songs that kind of fall flat. Now let's go track by track. I already talked about Walk on Water. Second one's Believe. Believe is solid. It's alright. It goes on a little long, as a lot of these tracks tend to do. Yeah. It's fine. I made a playlist called Revival Revised, and that one made it. Walk on Water made it because it's still a good song, and I'll tell you which ones made that. I'll just say that they made the list if they did. Chloroseptic, featuring Pressure, made the list. Even though that one also does go on too long, and he kind of like tries to do like a trap, sort of like, I'll take 100 of you, 100 of you, do. Like it's just like, this is not Eminem. Like it's weird. It's weird. I'll talk about the album as a whole after I go track by track. Untouchable, I already talked about. River, I don't like River. I don't really love Ed Sheeran. I don't have a problem with him. I don't love his music. He seems like a cool guy, and I didn't like this. Remind Me intro. It's an intro. Who cares? Remind Me is a dumb song, but it's kind of fun to listen to because it's funny. But it's like, why are you putting this on your album? Like, so next we have Revival Interlude, which interludes into nothing. Like Home with Alicia Keys, which is a good song. It's kind of an anti-Trump song. All right. Bad Husband with the Ex-Ambassadors. Now, Ex-Ambassadors on Wicked Ways on the Marshmallows LP. Loved. This is not good. Tragic Endings. That's a decent song, but see, some of these I've just kind of skipped over because I didn't like them on the first couple listens. So that's one of them. I feel like it could be alright, but I didn't love it. Framed. The hook is annoying, but I feel like it is definitely meant to be annoying. But it's pretty lyrically good, and it's like relapse. It's like a relapse back to relapse, and it's enjoyable. That made the list. Yeah, so did Like Home, Remind Me. Yeah. Nowhere Fast. I don't even remember this song, so not good. Heat. Everyone hates Heat. Everybody I've seen review the album puts Heat on the list of ones they don't like. I liked Heat. I think it's fun. It's fun. It has some corny lines, of course, but I like the Boogie Nights sampling. I find it fun. Offended, one of the best songs on the album. It's lyrically good. He's got a fast verse at the end, but then again, I'm not offended by the song. Like, it's not like how the old Eminem could just like, you just go, whoa, like, I cannot believe he just said that. Need Me, no, don't need you. In Your Head is good. I like the sample of the Cranberries. Castle and a Rose are like one song to me. I really can't remember which one's which, but the one about Haley I liked quite a bit, and I don't really listen to it. I haven't listened to it in a while because it is one of those slower songs, and I'm not really in that kind of mood as of late. So, the thing about this album is the inconsistencies tonally are atrocious. Like, it goes from Walk on Water to Believe, where that kind of works because it's like slower, and then he's like, I wrote Stand, and then he kind of started from the bottom, like he kind of flows into it well. And then the first few songs are so like kind of jam-packed, and I would say like the thickest of the album. Like, from Believe to Untouchable. I guess it's only 3, but they're long. So you get a whole lot of rapping from old M. And then when River hits, it could be like a really nice, like, all right, like, this is gonna chill me out after all that hardcore. But I didn't like River, so it didn't do that for me. I think that these first 3 tracks should have been spread a little better. And then it goes from Remind Me to the Revival interlude, which I guess slows it down a little bit, but you can't rely on an interlude to like totally shift your album. And then we got all these songs like Home, Bad Hudson, and Tragic Ending that are just kind of like, and then we got Framed, which does not belong between Tragic Endings and Nowhere Fast. Then we got Heat and Offended, where those two go together all right. And then, with that being said, Need Me with Pink kind of does transition you into In Your Head, Castle and a Rose. So, the thing is not necessarily the song, like song track list, like order, but the whole concept of each song and how they don't match. Like, you go from Eminem just like, no, your booty is heavy duty like diarrhea, and then, you're talking about Trump, and then you're talking about racial bias or racial injustice in Untouchable, yada yada yada, and it just does not work as an album at all. Now, Paul Rosenberg, his manager, got signed to the head of Def Jam, so a lot of people are crying that too many people got their hands on this album and asked him to do stuff that wasn't like the vision, which I could definitely see happening, especially because what happened with Paul. But overall, this is kind of a disappointing album from my favorite artist of all time. So if anybody was going to give this the benefit of the doubt, it's me. And definitely not. It's not a good album. There's good songs. It's got good tracks. I dig some of the tracks. But it's not a good song overall, I would say. Just because of its scatterbrainedness. And even the cover, like, with his hand in his head in his hand with the flag overlaying it. Like, a lot of these songs have nothing to do with America. Like, Untouchable, like Home, and then I think one of the ones towards the end, I forgot, like 3 of these are really about America. Why is that your cover art? Which is another thing to me that screams, that was not Eminem's choice, because Eminem is a pretty smart guy. So, overall, probably give this like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Because I do actually like some of these tracks. And they're ones that I've been listening to since. And I do like them, and I'm glad that I've gotten them. But if I could turn this whole album in for a new one, I would. Like, I'd gladly give up those songs to get another try from Eminem. And now I can't tell what he's going to do. Like, I was like, this will probably be his last record if it's good, but it's not good, so I wonder what's going to happen. So, just for fun, I'm going to go through Eminem's albums and tell you what I think. Infinite, I like Infinite. It's very basic, but I do enjoy it. Now, music isn't, like, it's not movies for me where, like, I analyze it too much. Like, I have quite a few 10 out of 10 records that I would say. Like, I don't have a lot of 10 out of 10 movies, but I have a lot of 10 out of 10 records because my standards are lower than normal. So I'm not no Anthony Fantano here, okay? So you see me doling out 10s left and right. You know who you're talking to. Slim Shady LP. Oh, Infinite, I give it 7 out of 10. Slim Shady LP. Like it a lot because it's kind of what brought Eminem to us. Although, it's very lyrically impressive, and it was one of the first Eminem albums that I listened to all the way through, and a lot of good tracks, like, that listening back to now, you're like, oh, this is a classic, but it also showed us, like, some of his darker side on Guilty Conscience, Brain Damage, Role Model, Rock Bottom, which is probably one of the better songs on the album. Give this an 8.5. Marshall Mathers LP. One of the best hip-hop albums ever, in my opinion. Yeah, this is just... That's a 10. That's a 10. And then Tess, the Eminem Show. This is... I want to give it a 10. Just because I love it so much. I love both of these so much. Yeah, alright, 10. Solid 10. I love that record. I can't really say anything more. Encore. I like some songs. I like Evil Deeds. I like Yellow Brick Road. I like Toy Soldiers. I like Mosh. I like Puke, even though it's not a good song. I like Just Lose It. I like Ass Like That, even though it's stupid. I like Mockingbird. I like One Shot, Two Shot, but some of the other stuff is just stupid. And I'll give that one a 7, just because some of the good stuff is pretty good. Like, it has some of the best Eminem songs, like Mockingbird and Mosh, but on the other side, it has some of the most garbage. Relapse. Really good lyrically, although it's kind of like a conceptual album about a serial killer, Slim Shady as a serial killer. It's very impressive lyrically, but then again, it's kind of like, if I would have been really into Eminem when this came out, I would have been disappointed because I want more like real Eminem. Like, there's not a whole lot of real stuff on here except for like Beautiful, which I really like. I'll give this one an 8 because it is very impressive, and there are some songs on here that I really do dig. Recovery. This is the album that introduced me to Eminem. This is one that I will listen to all the way through and love. This is a 10 out of 10. Marshall Mathers LP 2. Another 10 out of 10. I love this album a lot. Now, I came into Eminem when he was, like, in the recovery state, like, in, recovery mode with that album. So, I don't have, like, the early 2000s love. I have, like, the love of somebody who got into Eminem when he was, like, the way he is, and then went back and loved his stuff then, and still love his stuff now. So, my opinion is probably different than those who lived all the way through liking Eminem. But I love this album, one of my favorites of all time. That's another 10. And then, if we're talking about everything, Shady XV, the record, I really loved. I have it on vinyl. This Shady XV, Psychopath Killer, Die Alone, Vegas, Gets Over Fear, Bane, Fine Line, Twisted, Right For Me. I love those songs, and I'm really glad that this album was made, because I thought this album was a lot better than it ever should have been. I was not expecting a lot, and I really got a lot, and I was very, very happy with that. Well, there we go. Alright, well, at least this wasn't a total misfire. I talked about some good stuff. Alright, thanks to everybody who listened all the way through. I got better episodes coming soon once I get, people on, and that's all coming. So, thank you for sticking with me through this. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I think that's about it. And as always, be sure to play more foos. See ya.